Brand Finance publishes an exhaustive report evaluating the strongest automobile brands in the world. It serves as the definitive scoreboard for the entire industry. In the 2026 rankings, Toyota holds the #1 spot. BMW sits at #2, and right behind them at #3, beating out both Audi and Ferrari, is Royal Enfield. A brand whose core product is a $5,000 retro motorcycle currently outranks multi-million-dollar hyper-engineered status symbols. Go back to the year 2000, and this ranking looks entirely absurd. Back then, Royal Enfield was an industry punchline. Their bikes were notoriously heavy, routinely leaked oil, and broke down constantly. Their parent company, Eicher Motors, was hemorrhaging cash. The board of directors actively convened to discuss permanently shutting down the century-old motorcycle division. Royal Enfield's current dominance is the result of a deliberate, calculated corporate turnaround. They took their biggest weakness, archaic simplicity, and used it to outperform the very brands that defined the premium market for decades. The rescue operation fell to a 26-year-old executive named Siddhartha Lal. He inherited this broken division and begged the board for exactly 2 years to prove the brand could be saved. Lal diagnosed a fatal operational flaw. Eicher Motors was bloated. The conglomerate was trying to manufacture everything from garments to footwear to agricultural equipment, spreading their capital dangerously thin. Lal's intervention was ruthless. He immediately axed 13 of the company's 15 businesses. He dumped the legacy tractor division and bet the entire future of the conglomerate on commercial trucks and Royal Enfield. The market he stepped into was hostile. Consumers were buying highly reliable Japanese sport bikes or premium American choppers. Almost no one was asking for an old British Indian commuter bike. By burning the boats and eliminating all corporate safety nets, Lal backed his team into a corner. They either had to fix the actual product or the company was going to die. Marketing 100 years of continuous history sounds great in a brochure, but heritage means absolutely nothing if the motorcycle leaves its rider stranded on the shoulder of the highway. Lal abandoned his desk and started test riding the bikes himself across long, punishing distances. He experienced the miserable reliability, the oil leaks, and the engine seizures firsthand. The engineering team got to work on unglamorous, critical fixes. They standardized the gearshift to the left side to meet global rider expectations and ripped out the old cast-iron engine design, replacing it with modern aluminum blocks to finally stop the leaks. This chart tracking independent quality research shows the impact of those upgrades. The modern Royal Enfield 650 twins sit well above the industry average for reliability, actually placing higher than the leading Japanese bars from Yamaha and Honda. Independent quality researchers, including J.D. Power, verified this data, awarding Royal Enfield the top spot for initial two-wheeler quality. They didn't invent a hyper-efficient engine or a proprietary traction control system. By perfecting the absolute basics of internal combustion, they proved that operational reliability is the non-negotiable floor for building a loyal customer base. While Royal Enfield rebuilt its engine, Harley-Davidson was executing a very different strategy. They were aggressively hiking prices and positioning their motorcycles as elite, high-income lifestyle products. That premium pricing model actively alienated the working-class riders and garage mechanics who originally built the custom motorcycle scene. Royal Enfield countered with a different math. They prioritized cost efficiency, offering an authentic retro experience at a price point where a consumer could buy 4 Royal Enfields for the cost of 1 base model Harley. They branded this approach pure motorcycling. By intentionally refusing to add touchscreens, complex sensors, or digital bloat, they kept their production overhead low. They scaled this efficiency by developing a single high-spec rolling chassis to be used globally. This allowed them to mass-produce bikes and dominate the severely underserved 250 to 750cc midsize segment. While legacy brands fought tooth and nail over a shrinking pool of wealthy buyers, Royal Enfield democratized the riding experience and quietly captured the global working class. The scale of this turnaround is staggering. A company that struggled to move 50,000 units a year is now producing over 1 million motorcycles annually. They have expanded aggressively beyond India, establishing tech centers in the UK and opening international assembly plants in Brazil, Argentina, and Thailand. To feed this insatiable global demand, Eicher Motors is currently injecting 958 crore rupees into their manufacturing facilities, to push total capacity to 2 million bikes a year. Look at the present-day reality. While legacy competitors are consolidating dealerships and executing global layoffs, Royal Enfield's brand value has reached $1.2 billion. They claimed the title of the world's third strongest automotive brand by ignoring the arms race entirely. In an industry obsessed with adding digital screens and zeros to the price tag, the most powerful marketing rarely comes from a massive ad budget. It comes from giving ownership and identity back to the consumer. Fast forward to the present day, and the legacy brands are experiencing a dealership apocalypse. Showrooms globally are being forced to close down or consolidate just to survive. While they shrink, Royal Enfield is aggressively expanding. They've doubled their market share across Europe since 2020, and they are dominating sales throughout Latin America and Southeast Asia. This chart shows exactly why the takeover stuck. Look at the average industry breakdown rate tracking across the top. Now look at the line for modern Royal Enfield 650 twins, tracking far below it. Independent verification proved they are actually 20% more reliable than the industry average. Low pricing might be enough to get a brand in the door, but verifiable product quality is what forces the competition to cede ground. Looking at the rubble of this market shift, a few clear lessons emerge. Authenticity over specs. The market responds to soul and character, not just a list of the fastest technical specifications. Second, own the gap. Instead of fighting a $13 billion Goliath head-on, Royal Enfield found the exact vacuum their rivals were ignoring, and they completely dominated it. Third, give the garage back. They made their product an accessible tool for the customer's own identity, rather than locking them into a closed, elitist system. Royal Enfield conquered the globe by simply remembering what a motorcycle was supposed to be in the first place.